The Silent Hill 2 remake shouldn't happen. They're not letting these dev teams be creative. Shut up. Shut up. Oh my god, the amount of BS that I have seen leading up to this SH2 remake. Now everybody claiming that gaming is freaking creatively bankrupt. Oh, Bloober Team is not able to make original IPs even though everybody was complaining about the original IPs, including myself. Now all of a sudden Bloober Team can't be creative. Well, newsflash, Cronus The New Dawn is the original IP coming from Bloober Team themselves. Now everybody that was crying that Silent Hill 2 is not letting these dev teams be creative can shut the fuck up. No, for real, because this is so funny to me. All that freaking agenda pushing that some of these creators is gonna do, I ain't even gonna say no names, but you look stupid. You look stupid. You look stupid for criticizing SH2, and now that is considered a masterpiece. Y'all quiet. Now the original IP thing has came out. Y'all are quiet. Shut the hell up and just let these dev teams cook. No dev team is forced to make remakes. If they want to make an original IP, they're gonna make an original IP, clowns. So let's just stop doing this, okay? I'm so glad Bloober Team did this, man. I said this was gonna happen. Remake, original IP, remake, original IP. Long as you are putting out fresh content, the remakes do not matter. As long as you're not relying on remasters and remakes like fucking Naughty Dog. So thank you, Bloober Team. Now, I don't know if y'all seen this. Came out about a week ago. Cronus The New Dawn, man. It looks like it is influenced by Dead Space. It looks extremely good, but before I even touch on that, Bloober Team has came out and they are aware of their past games. They have came out and said they are done making shitty games. And the Silent Hill 2 remake wasn't a fluke. And I like this energy. Do not sit here and tell me remakes do not do anything for the gaming culture. This is why I will die on this hill. Remakes are essential to gaming. You don't know what it could do for a series, a dev team. You just don't know. And for the most part, remakes are extremely successful. The good ones. There's good and bad ones. The bad ones is what Sony is doing. But Resident Evil, Final Fantasy, Silent Hill, these are good remakes because these remakes are better than a lot of fucking original games. And people will be mad about that. It is what it is. Make your original game better. That's all I got to say. They are aware of their past games not being great. I have been very critical on Bloober Team. When I found out they was taking the Silent Hill 2 project, I was like, well, the Medium wasn't that good. The Blair Witch project was awful. Like, I was going down the list. I was not a fan of Bloober Team's old games. So Bloober Team has this whole new attitude. They are out to prove that they can make original content and evolve their ideas. And I like that because other dev teams are not going to come out and admit that they fucked up back in the day. Like, their games have not been as good. They haven't been on point. You'll never hear people say that. But Bloober Team's accountability, their feedback and everything, I appreciate that so much. And this is something I want y'all to not take for granted. This is why you should give them their flowers. They are aware. You'll never see Ubisoft come out and be like, well, you know, our games haven't been good in quite some time. You know, the Star Wars game wasn't good. Far Cry hasn't been good in quite some time. They will never come out and do something like this. Naughty Dog will never come out and be like, yeah, we're just hanging on the Last of Us wave. You know, we're tricking our fans and we're just being fucking lazy and putting out remakes. You'll never see them come out and say that. Shout out to Bloober Team. I freaking love the accountability. I love the new attitude. You got to act like this is like a basketball game or a football game. You might have a couple bad games. You might have a bad season, but you got to come back next season or next game, put that shit behind you and just get to work, get to the ground running. I don't even know if I said that right, but yeah. So this is an interview with the director talking about Kronos The New Dawn and what the remake team had to go through and how he's proud of the remake team for getting through the Silent Hill 2 remake with all the hate that came with it. But right now, I want to talk about Kronos The New Dawn. This is not a reaction. I've already seen this. I'm just going to talk while the video is playing in the background. Have y'all seen this? And are y'all excited for a new horror game? Especially an original idea from Bloober Team. It seems like they get it now. I don't think we're going to ever have a Blair Witch Project type of game from Bloober Team ever again. I think Bloober Team is going to cook. They're going to knock the horror genre out of the ballpark. This is a horror development studio. They don't do anything else other than horror games, and that's their niche. And I want them to stick to the niche. Do not ever go outside the niche. We need more horror studios, you know what I mean? We don't have too many great horror games nowadays, unless they're remakes. But original horror ideas, we don't get them like that. So I'm excited to see what Kronos The New Dawn is all about. There's only like 10 seconds of gameplay footage. but the cinematic trailer looks insanely good. Dead Space written all over this. It's so much Dead Space influence. The suit, I would say Doom, but the game looks incredibly good. I love the fog that they showed at the end. You know, there's some Silent Hill 2 that they brought from that, and it's funny because while everybody was screaming that, you know, the Silent Hill 2 remake, it just proves that gaming studios are creatively bankrupt. They were working on Cronus The New Dawn while they were working on Silent Hill, because they started working on Silent Hill 2 right after the medium, I believe he said in this interview. So they were working, both games was overlapping. They were working on both titles. And this just proves that a lot of content creators don't know what they're talking about. Stop pushing these agendas saying that dev teams are basically being forced to remake games that are creatively bankrupt. You sound crazy. At the end of the day, if a dev team wants to make an original IP, they're going to make an original IP. If they want to rely on remakes, they're going to rely on remakes. It's nothing you can do. It's up to them. Now, this scene is crazy. I don't know why the hell he offs grandma. Since he lost the chess game, seems pretty petty to me. I wonder if we're playing like a villain or something. I don't understand it. But yeah, stop. You guys got to stop pushing agendas, man. And y'all got to stop believing in every word some of these creators are saying. Just because a creator believes that gaming is dying because of remakes does not mean it's true. That's just their opinion. Everybody has a fucking opinion. Doesn't mean their opinion is right, okay? I want y'all to remember that. Y'all don't have to agree with every creator. Now, as you can see here, heavy fog, the atmosphere goes crazy. A bunch of dead bodies from those creatures. This looks so freaking good, man. This looks like a true next-gen game for sure. This is not going to be on PS4. I believe it's on all platforms, PC, Xbox, yeah. So you can wishlist it now. Are y'all excited for this? Does this look like something y'all would play? Bloober Team has my full support. And it's not even just because the Silent Hill 2 remake is an absolute masterpiece. It's because I like what Bloober Team has done. The whole time, this whole process, they have been taking feedback. They have not been shy of admitting they've been effing up. A studio has never done anything like that to my knowledge. And they deserve full support. So there you have my support. If I'm able to get a day one, I'm definitely getting a day one. I'm supporting Bloober Team hardcore, man. They've just came a long way, and I believe in them. So they'll always have my support. Am I glazing Bloober Team now? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody was like, well, not everybody, but I had like a couple shields from a certain content creator come to my page. It was like, oh, this guy loves this game. No wonder why he's glazing it. Well, no shit. If I love it, I'm gonna glaze it. Like, come on now. I glazed the hell out of Resident Evil. When Resident Evil 9 comes and it looks good, I'm glazing the absolute fuck out of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm glazing it. Now, if it's something that is not worth glazing, I will critique it. I'm a gaming content creator. That's what I do, okay? So, yes, there's going to be glaze. You might see a donut here or two, okay? But back to the article, I just want to read a couple quotes. Not the whole thing. I definitely do not feel like reading. My college, my high school, college days, all that shit's over with. I am not reading all of this. But I want to read just a little bit from this interview and just give y'all the insight. Y'all remember in a lot of these Silent Hill videos, I was saying I can't even imagine what they had to go through, like what they were feeling during the process of this remake and everything. He kind of gives some insight to that, and he wants people to know that Silent Hill 2 remake was not a fluke, but they want to show that they can make original ideas and evolve horror. So I'm excited for this. I'm really excited for what Bloober Team has cooking up. I told y'all during one of my Silent Hill videos, I said they're going to follow the Capcom blueprint. They're going to drop remake, original IP, remake, original IP. Might get a couple original IPs, then another remake. Just like Capcom is doing. With Capcom, we got Resident Evil 7, we got Resident Evil 2, then we got Resident Evil 3, we got Resident Evil Village. So, it kind of ping-pongs back and forth. And now we're getting Resident Evil 9, and then we'll probably get like a RE5, a Code Veronica. I love how Capcom does it, so I'm glad, not Konami, Bloober Team is going to do the same thing. It's just smart business. Remake a loved, iconic game, or a game that just didn't age well, or probably wasn't that good back then, and make it better. Everybody loves it, and then once everybody loves it, they're gonna sit there and be like, well, I'm gonna try this new original game from Bloober Team because they killed the remake. The remake was so good, so the original IPs should be good. It's just smart business. I love seeing devs get down like this, man. It's more content for the consumer, and it's gonna bring in a lot of money and support for the dev team. So it's smart business. I don't care if you have something against remakes. I think if you have something against remakes, that's just kind of weird in my opinion, because if you don't want your beloved original, which is heavily flawed, because I don't care what anybody said, I don't care if you were the most diehard Silent Hill fan of all time, those games were severely flawed. It is not 2001 anymore. It's 2024. Some shit just does not age well. Some movies don't age well. Some music doesn't age well. It's okay to admit that the game you love is so fucking flawed. No game is perfect. None. If you're gonna sit there and deride the original so hard to the fact that you think a remake is a problem, you shouldn't look in the remake's direction. You should stick to the original. Don't even think about it. Don't look at it. Don't spend money on it. And don't get online bitching and complaining about a remake. Just act like it doesn't exist. That's why it's two versions. If you don't like the remake, go play the original. Go plug up that PS2, that PS1, or go emulate it. I don't get people's mindset. It's just so corny to me. Oh, there's a remake of the game that I love so much. It shouldn't happen because I love it so much and the original was so good. What are you, fucking 5? And I get it. A lot of y'all are old. Just to be real, I mean, I'm not clowning y'all for being old. I want to get old. I want to live to be old. Some of y'all ages. You feel me? It's nothing wrong with being old. But when you're an old, bitter person and you don't want to move on with the times, oh, I told my friend to play the original. He said he'll wait on the remake. Like, what the hell is wrong with gaming nowadays? You're showing your age, bro. You're showing your age. You're not a real friend if you tell your friend to go play some fucking tank control games. I'm sorry. I would never recommend my friends that. If you grew up on it, of course, you'll sit there and play it. Of course. You grew up on it. I play games that my friends would never play, you know, because I grew up on it. It is what it is. But I'm a real person. I'm not going to sit there and recommend an old pixelated turn-based RPG game for my friend because it's a classic. No. Y'all got to knock it off. Knock that shit off. I had to get on that little rant because I hate when people criticize remakes, especially the great ones. It's just so corny to me. But everybody has an agenda to push nowadays. It's so fucking corny. But anyways, he also says that the Silent Hill 2 remake took shape a few months after the Medium released in 2021. Though Cronus The New Dawn and Silent Hill 2 remakes were being developed on overlapping timelines, they come from a largely different teams within the studio. Now, I want y'all to remember that. These studios have teams. That doesn't mean every single person in the studio is working on a remake. If the team is big enough, they're going to split projects. Look at Capcom. They're designing like 7 games at once. So stop saying these developers are creatively bankrupt. They're shackled. Like they can't make an original game. That's not the truth. That is false as hell. He says that the 2 games are meant to feel like different pizzas with different toppings, both delicious. The Silent Hill 2 remake was better than most seem to expect, but Cronus New Dawn seeks to prove that they can build something special from scratch too, which is a phenomenal move. You don't want to be like other companies and rely on remakes and remasters. Again, Naughty Dog. I will keep critiquing the hell out of Naughty Dog because that shit has to change. At the same time, you know, 1 year remake, 1 year in the original idea, it's cool to do that. It's great to do that, actually. But if you're a dev team that just focuses on remake, that's not good. And here's a screenshot. This game looks so much like Dead Space. Like, it is absolutely crazy. This game looks spooky, though. Real dark. Looks like a little subway or whatever. Enemy looks crazy. Look at the lighting. I know the fog is out there. It looks good. This looks like a real legit next-gen game. I'm excited for this. Like, I'm really excited for this. Definitely looks like a sci-fi horror game. Here is another screenshot. Spooky atmosphere. Nice fog. It looks good, man. It looks real good. Bloober Team is cooking. They're starting the streak for sure. So he also says it was tough for those couple of years before the Silent Hill 2's release, but added that the remake team was tough for not letting it get under the skins. They made it, we made it, Bloober made it, and we want to show what we can do on our own and how we can evolve our ideas. And that's what we need in the horror genre. Fresh ideas and something refreshing, man. Like I said, horror games have not been the same in quite some time. It's been so long since we got an original horror game that was pretty damn good. I like Resident Evil 7 a lot. That's a very good horror game. People consider Little Nightmares a horror game, so you got those. But other than that, what else? Alan Wake 2, is that really a horror game? I have not played Alan Wake. I haven't played any of the Alan Wakes, actually. So are those horror games? Y'all let me know, because I do want to get into Alan Wake. But again, we haven't got too many. Like, the horror genre was slowly dying, but I feel like the horror renaissance is here. And it's in large part thanks to Bloober Team. They recreated a legendary game. They made the impossible possible, which I said numerous times. And it was a bumpy road because all of the hate on the internet, the pressure was big on them. They delivered, and for the company, it's an amazing moment. And again, I'm gonna say this: a lot of other dev teams would have folded. They would have canceled the project. They wouldn't want nothing to do with it because you got these weirdo ass grifters. Grifters are the worst fucking thing to happen in gaming because they don't play fucking games. They just see something they can push an agenda on, and they sit there and push it. But if the game does good, they leave it alone, and then they move to the next game. Now, if the game doesn't do good, they're gonna sit there and keep pushing their agenda, and then you got all these people, these racist people, or these people that don't like women that agree with them. So it's just very freaking weird. Like, gaming is at such a weird standpoint when it comes to these quote unquote fans. Like, it's crazy. I could guarantee you majority of that was grifters. They sat there and they said Angela's face was like, come on, bro. And by the way, Angela's model was fantastic. Bloober Team did an excellent job on that, but it's mainly grifters. Grifters attack every single thing unless a woman is in a damn bikini, or there are no black people or Hispanics. If it's just white cast, you will not hear them complain. So do not pay attention to grifters, bro. And if anybody from any dev team is listening, who cares what the fuck a grifter says? Grifters don't make any noise in the gaming culture. So just never listen to them. Fans too, consumers, just do not fall into that trap, bro. Do not fall into that trap. They do not even play games. But Bloober Team absolutely did the impossible. You have to have tough skin to do what they did. They sat there and finished that. We would have been, if it was any other development team, we would have been talking about a cancellation, and they would have been working on something else new. Like, let's just keep it real, man. So I'm real proud. I'm real proud and happy for Bloober Team, man. They deserved it. So he says, when Kronos was revealed, we all felt relief. All the comments were like, yeah, this looks great. I love the design of the character. To him and others, it was uplifting to see how the perception of the studio is already noticeably changing. Despite all the pressure of the Silent Hill 2 remake, there's arguably still plenty bearing down on the team as it seeks to prove it can conjure magic entirely on its own. But the Kronos game director told me that this genre is where they want to be, and they're willing to prove they have what it takes. And they absolutely have what it takes. No other dev team really had the potential like Bloober Team. So Konami took a massive, and I mean massive, gamble, putting all the chips on the table on a team that just had potential but did not win. You know what I'm saying? They always had the potential, but they never won with their products. So it was a massive gamble that paid off. I like this attitude. Yes, they just delivered one of the best remakes of all time, but they're like, fuck that. We don't want to be known as the team just for remaking Silent Hill 2 and then we fall back to mediocrity. They are saying we are here, we are better than ever, and we are going to take the horror genre to new heights. We can do it. If anybody can do it, it's us. That's the attitude I like, man. I'm getting hyped. Like, this is some sports or something. I'm getting hyped, man. I cannot wait. I can't wait to see how Cronus The New Dawn ends up being, man. And this is clearly a sci-fi horror game. Now, I don't know if this is like on a planet. Clearly, they're not on Earth, or if they are, Earth is like real effed up right now. But this just screams sci-fi horror, and I'm with it. I'm with it. The fog looks crazy. I don't know what the hell this little pod is. He says, we want to be a horror company. We want to find our niche. We think we found our niche. So let's just evolve with it. And how that happens is more complex, but it also happens organically in a way, like with 2016's Layer of Fear. I forgot. That's actually their best game, Layer of Fear. People in the studio were like, okay, we made some shitty games, but we can evolve. We gathered a team that loves horror, so I think for us, it would not be easy to switch to other genre, and they absolutely shouldn't, and we don't want to. If you do one thing great, you should never switch over to a different lane. That's just my opinion. Enough success, and you're like, you know what? I want to take a dabble at something else. Let's just see how, if it sticks, cool. But other than that, if you are great at something, stick to that. Make sure you build up a nice resume doing something you're great at. And then you make the switch if you want to. I'm glad they're not going to try to go out their way and do something like random as hell, like a random RPG or something. I'm glad they're going to stick to the horror. They're going to keep doing it till they perfect it. I love it. I love it. I love this new attitude of Bloober Team. Shout out to them. What a freaking year for Bloober Team, and next year is going to be just as good for them because I believe this IP is going to be a massive success. This character that looks absolutely mental, I mean, looks absolutely crazy. You got this nice Dead Space vibe. The game just looks great, man. Sci-fi horror is always good. You can't go wrong with a good sci-fi horror game. I'm a gamer, bro. I love this shit, bro. I love this shit to death, bro. I want a career in this shit. I love it. You feel me? But y'all let me know how y'all feel about Bloober Team's renaissance. They are here to stay. They are out to show everybody that Silent Hill 2 was not a fluke, and they are going to continue this redemption arc with some good IPs. I can't wait to see it. Are y'all playing Cronus The New Dawn? The horror renaissance is here, thank God, because I got tired of bad horror games. This gaming has just been just so good these last 2 years, and next year is just going to be even better than the last 2 years put together. And I know that's insane to say, but 2026 is a massive year, man. I mean, 2025, I'm skipping ahead, my fault. 2025 is going to be a massive year for gaming. I cannot wait. Back to the video, man. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate all you guys' support, the comments, everything. I remember making videos, I wouldn't even get not one comment. And I had to, you know, just keep grinding it out, hoping, you know, something to stick. And I'm just real grateful for y'all, man. And if you stuck to the end and you're new to this channel, I do gaming topics, discussions, rants, reactions, all that stuff. Anything gaming. I cover a lot of Silent Hill, a lot of Resident Evil, Capcom games, all that good stuff. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And again, I appreciate y'all. I'm going to catch y'all on the next video. Stay safe in these gaming streets.